Have you ever picked up a book on Wicca, read the instructions, and thought, I physically cannot do that? Maybe the book told you to dance around the circle to raise energy, but you have chronic fatigue or mobility issues. Or maybe it told you to visualize a complex geometric temple, but like me, you have a head injury or aphantasia, and your mind just doesn't work that way. For a long, long time, I thought this meant I was a bad witch. I genuinely believed I was failing. But today, I am here to tell you the truth. You are not failing. The books are failing you. I'm Merlin Rowan. In 2003, I survived a severe traumatic brain injury. It changed my life, my body, and my brain forever. It forced me to rebuild my spiritual practice from the ground up completely. This is part 1 of my series on disabled witchcraft. Today we're going to talk about the invisible walls that keep so many of us out of magic, and more importantly, why we are going to tear them down brick by brick. But to really understand why we struggle, we have to look at where all these rules came from in the first place. Most of the foundational Wiccan and modern witchcraft texts were written in the mid-20th century. They were often written by able-bodied people, and you can see that reflected in the way they emphasize physicality. They talk about physical endurance, about standing for hour-long rituals, about dancing and chanting with vigor. They also talk about a significant cognitive load, like memorizing long rhyming liturgies in archaic English. And of course, they talk about visualization with a capital V. The core assumption that everyone can just close their eyes and see clear, detailed pictures in their mind. If you have a disability, if you're neurodivergent, or if you live with chronic illness, these aren't just instructions, they are barriers. They are walls. When I first tried to follow these rules after my injury, I would end up exhausted, confused, or in actual physical pain. And let me tell you, nothing kills a magical mood faster than physical pain. The magic just evaporates. So today I want to break down what I see as the 3 main barriers we face. I think naming them is the first step to dismantling them. First up is the mobility barrier. This is the underlying assumption that sacred space requires movement. You have to walk the circle to cast it. You have to bow to the quarters. You have to kneel before the altar. But what if you're in a wheelchair? Or what if standing for more than a few minutes makes you dizzy and nauseous? The books don't tell you what to do then. They just imply that you should be moving, and if you can't, well, that's your problem. It creates this feeling that your body is an obstacle to your own spirituality, which is just heartbreakingly wrong. The truth is, sacred space is an internal state that you can create from a bed, a chair, or anywhere you happen to be. Your body is your first and most holy temple, regardless of its abilities. The second barrier is the cognitive barrier. This one is my personal mountain to climb. Since my head injury, my brain processes information very, very differently. My short-term memory isn't what it used to be, and I get overwhelmed easily. A standard ritual, as written in many books, requires a massive amount of what psychologists call working memory. You have to hold the wand, remember the rhyme, visualize the blue light of the east, and face the correct direction all at the same time. For a neurodivergent brain, or for a TBI survivor like me, that isn't a recipe for magic. It's a recipe for sensory overload. We don't reach a peaceful trance state. We get a panic state. The stress of trying to do it right completely short-circuits the entire process. Your brain just says, nope, too much, and shuts down. And that brings us to the third barrier, the energy barrier. If you have chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, long COVID, or any condition that limits your daily energy, you know all about the concept of spoons. You wake up with a limited number of spoons or units of energy for the day. And every single activity costs you. Standard by-the-book ritual is incredibly expensive. It costs way too many spoons. Just think about it. Gathering your tools, cleansing the space, setting up the altar, changing into robes. You could easily spend all your energy just on the prep work. And by the time you're ready to do the actual magic, you have 0 energy left in the tank. You're running on fumes. Aren't you supposed to raise a cone of power when you can barely raise your head off the pillow? It's an impossible expectation. But you know, the worst part of all this isn't the physical struggle. It's not the dizziness or the pain or the exhaustion. The worst part is the emotional toll it takes. It's the self-doubt that creeps in. We start to gaslight ourselves. We think things like, if I really wanted this, I would just push through the pain. Or, Maybe I'm just not spiritual enough. We start to treat magic like a gym workout. No pain, no gain, right? Wrong. Absolutely, fundamentally wrong. Magic is about shifting consciousness. It's about aligning your will with the flow of the universe. Pain does the exact opposite. Pain anchors you brutally to the physical world. If you're standing in a circle and your back is screaming in agony, you aren't raising energy. You aren't communing with the divine. You are just enduring torture. Your focus isn't on the spell. It's on surviving the next 5 minutes without collapsing. Real magic, authentic magic, should be accessible. It should feel natural. It should be as easy and as vital as breathing. If your practice is consistently hurting you, if it leaves you feeling drained and defeated, then it isn't spiritual, it is harmful, and you deserve better than that. All do. So, where do we go from here? The answer is simple, but it's not easy. Stop. We stop trying to fit our beautifully unique round bodies into the rigid square holes designed by someone else 50 years ago. We stop apologizing for our needs. We stop seeing our disabilities as flaws and start seeing them as unique perspectives that can actually deepen our magic. In this series, we are going to rewrite the rules. We're going to build a new kind of witchcraft, one that is inclusive, adaptable, and powerful for everyone. In the next video, I'm going to open up my personal magical toolbox. I'm going to show you the specific hacks, modifications, and creative workarounds that I use every single day to get around these barriers. I'll teach you about something I call anchor magic for those with mobility issues, and tactile magic for those of us who can't visualize. We'll explore low spoon rituals, seated casting, and how to use technology to our advantage. You can be a powerful, effective, and fulfilled witch precisely as you are right now in this body, this brain. Today, you don't need to change to fit the magic. We need to change the magic to fit us. If you are ready to stop struggling and start practicing a form of witchcraft that truly honors who you are, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you. I'm Merlin Rowan. Thank you for being here. Blessed be.